That's on the interstate. The Wood Country Club, I played there. Definitely Connie's class.
It was what kinds of, like Omaha Country Club?
Yeah, and the kid that was he no longer, he's retired, but the kid that was the pro there for 30 years went to Benson and graduated 2 years ahead of me. Yeah. Oh, cool.
He was a pro there.
I'm sure he retired now.
What do you like? Is it a setup like Omaha Country Club, like trees?
Oh yeah.
Old
Yeah.
old school.
Great course. Great course. I know it was the best course I played when I was a little kid ever.
You went over there and played with your dad?
I played with my dad when I was about 10.
How about, you know who we saw at the Creighton University? Like your sister got that award, my sister got that award.
Yeah.
But the son of the golf pro at Millard Golf Course, or you know I'm talking
Miller
about.
Park, Mike.
Right, but wasn't that impressive?
No, his Hogan.
Hogan?
So
Hogan's son.
No, that's his nephew.
Okay.
So Hogan's Heroes, the guy that started that golf thing at Miller Park.
Right.
And now they call it Hogan Course.
Right.
It's Miller Park.
Right. It's Miller Park. It always,
It's-
it always
It's a
will
kid's
be.
course.
We call it Miller Park.
Yeah.
So, his dad, it was Steve Hogan, I think. His dad died. Mike Hogan is the guy that runs Miller Park.
The nice guy that
But the
gives us coffee.
son, the son went to law school and he works for QTech.
Fraser Striker.
Wow.
And
he played golf at Creighton. He
Boy,
was good
he must
enough.
be really
he, was-
good.
He was. He's a black kid. He was good enough to play golf at Creighton.
Wow.
Only black player in the history of the school. I'm going to go out on a limb and say
So the golf team? There's no question about it.
There's a bunch of rich white kids that play golf at Creighton.
It's
Yeah.
really true that Miller Park is really, they built it up. It's really nice now.
No, it's not nice.
Bill
It's
Dog.
really fun.
Bill Dog's the biggest fan of the place of anybody.
The three of us have played Sunday morning golf there. Well, you ran into us at the diner. We used to play there all the time.
Well, they built up the pavilion there and stuff, didn't they?
No, the pavilion that was
They
been
redid it.
because we took
Did
pictures
they?
of it.
Yeah, they did.
And
Joe
who-
Brudney was the architect.
Yeah, but Joe Brudney with the modification.
Huh.
It's gonna be a great place to have a family reunion. But
Oh.
Rick, the course now, you played the old Miller Park when you were in high school or something.
Yeah.
Now it's just a par 3, and you go there, and it's not.
It's just a par 3.
Yeah, it's just par 3. But
How
it's
did
fun.
we time our doobies, Billy? Billy, did we smoke
Yeah,
a
here's
doobie
what
on
we
the
do.
first?
Here's what we do. We play. After
third was
the third
usually-
hole is a 100-yard par 3, and on the tee box for the fourth hole we spark up.
Yeah.
That's what we have our doobie.
Yeah.
And then we play the rest of the holes. And we're just hacking it. And Sunday morning, there's nobody there but us.
Yeah, there's
a
nobody
couple,
there,
A
nobody-
couple of black guys and us.
Yeah. A couple of black guys.
And then the
us.
Hogan's dad, he gives us a little coffee with some.
Yeah, and
Green
Mike
to
Hogan,
mint,
who's the pro there now, will give us coffee with a little Baileys.
Baileys and cream.
Give
Yeah.
us a little coffee with Baileys. Here goes, guys.
Oh, I didn't know it was just a par 3. I didn't know it.
Yeah, it's
You're
a par
invited.
3, and then
We're gonna play
it's only
sometime.
9 holes.
it's-
And
Right?
we invite certain guys that never come.
Gino
Like
John.
Gino always says he's going to come, and he never.
He
comes.
never comes. Yeah.
We've invited Gene 10 times. He's never come once. LaHood never come.
That
came
would
once.
never comes.
Oh, it's not good enough for him.
Yeah, he'd hit over the hole.
He hit over the hole.
Davlin never came once.
Yeah. I think like Davlin, LaHood,
It's too good for it.
they're too good. You know, LaHood.
The hood is good.
He
LaHood
can hit
is
it long.
really good.
He can hit a long ball,
really
I bet.
good.
You can hit the ball.
But Davlin's better than LaHood.
On a given day, I don't know. You've played more with him than I have, but
Is LaHood good?
LaHood is really good.
Pretty good athlete.
He's a good
He's a good
all
athlete.
around.
He's a goofball.
Goofball is a perfect
He
term.
can control his drinking real well.
No, we have seen. Mike and I, and of course this guy a million times, have seen Jimmy LaHood at his most Jimmy LaHood. At the peak of his powers. This class of '75 of prep had some firepower.
I love
With
the hood.
partiers.
I love the hood.
With partiers. LaHood,
Oh, yeah.
Joe Jenkins.
I wonder
And
what
then,
the coach
how about
said
when-
prepped up a
How about
little
when
bit.
Kerrigan showed up?
Oh God.
There was another dimension. All Irish guys.
Kerrigan.
I
We
love the hood.
we don't give drugs, or we don't give medals to the drug team, Kerrigan.
That's what Groff said.
That's what Groff said when he was in.
Was Kerrigan's? Did he have the connection in Laughlin?
Yeah, he was
Or-
first cousins with Laughlin. And
So get this. So Kerrigan, he got kicked out of Hawaiian, right?
yeah, he got kicked out
Well,
of
like
Hawaiian.
when you get in, like nowadays, if you get kicked out of a Catholic high school, you ain't going to pro. That ain't happening.
Kerrigan's a big guy. I know him.
He's not that big.
Pretty big.
Oh,
5'10".
Was he a pitcher?
He's a partier. Is what he was. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was kind of a partier guy. He wasn't
Kind of a
really,
partier.
Yeah, he wasn't really an athlete.
He was a
type.
North Omaha guy. He's kind of
Yeah, I
a
know.
ran with a tough
I
crowd.
know.
She was like,
Ran with the Hebens.
That was the
crowd.
funny thing though. The only name let him back in when Prep kicked him out. You know that's how the deal was in those days.
Well, I know, but the only reason he got into prep then was Laughlin.
Oh yeah, Father
Laughlin
Laughlin.
just said, "We're taking him."
Yeah, we're taking it.
Was Laughlin there when you were there? He was our, he was our prefect of
Was
discipline.
Duke there when you were there? Dukevich? I don't know. Dukevich. I don't know. Who was
Who was the
there?
president of prep when you were there? Some Jesuit I would know.
Ryan.
Ryan?
How about Sullivan? I know he was way before
Sullivan
you.
was there.
He was way before you.
Was he there when you
Oh,
were
he was
there?
like 90. Yeah.
Was he there when you were there? And
Did-
Canny and Hilda,
Yeah,
Henlein
he
was there.
Henlein was there.
Neiman,
Taught me.
Strange.
Neiman was not there. Morrison.
Our.
Morrison.
Ray
Morrison.
Strange. Strange Ray.
Think about that. When we went to prep, they still had a ton of Jesuits.
Oh yeah.
They were everywhere.
Everywhere.
They're
Well,
older
a few of
than
them were
shit.
85.
I took freshman Latin. I got the double whammy. Freshman Latin, Father Canny, one of the sweetest, gentlest,
Oh,
kindest
God.
men I've ever met. And I got 95 in his class. And then the next year, I got Henlein.
Henlein's a great teacher.
He was the hardest teacher I had
I
in my
got
life.
A's from him.
He was
I
harder
loved
than
him.
he was harder than any college teacher I
Oh,
had.
he was a wonderful teacher.
He was hard though,
That's why I
wasn't he?
loved Latin.
Did you have him 2
Is
years
that
or
right?
one?
I had a 118 freshman year.
And who'd you have sophomore Latin?
I don't know.
Did you have Canny?
I don't know.
Did you have Mark
Think
Neiman?
about this. Father Canny graduated from prep in 1913.
Did he?
Yeah, I know that for a fact because
1913.
yeah, he taught my dad at prep in the 40s, but he graduated from prep in 1913.
I know, but think about this. I walk into prep freshman year, and this little tiny guy he had 2 shillelaghs. That's how he walked.
Yeah.
He was all fucked up. He could barely walk. And he had the long cassock, and he came in, and he just sat at the chair, and he was the kindest, nicest.
Oh,
he was
yeah,
a
he was.
great fucking
He was
teacher.
a sweet man.
I learned Latin. I got the fundamentals from that
I
guy.
love Latin.
I did too. It was
Did I ever tell you about this time? If I have, stop me. In 1967, Iverson and I were in homeroom together, and I tell the story. I'm gonna go see Iverson next week, and I'll tell the story again. We're sitting there, senior year, and he says, "Hey, Crowdy, we gotta go to a counselor. What we're gonna do in life?" And I said, "I'm not gonna see Father Brown. B-A-U-N. I'm not gonna see him.
He's the counselor.
Yeah, I hate it.
B-A-U-N.
B-R-A-U-N. I'm not gonna see him.
I'm not gonna say
I can't stand the guy. The guy will tell me I'm all fucked up. And Larry, you know, Ron is major fucked up. He tries to jump out the window. He's probably got a 200 IQ.
Phil Fisher.
Oh, man. Okay.
He fools around with his ear all the time.
There you go, Phil Fisher. You know.
This is how he talks to you like this. He doesn't look at you. He's insane, Larry.
There were some crazy fucking judges.
So Larry and I have
Oh,
this
no
big
doubt.
fight. Who's gonna go see Braun first? I'm not gonna see that son of a bitch. I mean, you go first, Iverson. So Iverson goes.
So you had to do this.
We had to do this to find out what we're gonna do.
Right.
And we're fighting over it. Iverson and I fought for 10 minutes. So our go crowdy, goddammit. And so he goes in and he talks to Father Braun. Father Braun's about ready to jump out the window, screw around his ear. Iverson comes back and he says, Rick, let me see if I understand this. I said, how'd it go there? He says, well, as I understand this, Father Braun told me how screwed up I am, and he's jumping out the window.
Did he say, why don't you guys go to Regis?
No, what happened right after that is luckily Larry and I, Mike Shear came in. He was about 5 or 6 years older than us. He was a person who
Working at the school.
worked in school. Mike Shear. He's a Holy Cross guy.
Well, mine's Larry.
Yeah,
Mike
I know mine.
Yeah, so Iverson gets back in. He says, hey, Crowdy, we can find a school we can get into. It's Catholic. Our parents will let us go there. So we rounded up 7 or 8 of our buddies and went.
To Regis.
Yeah.
But whose idea? Which one?
It was Larry's idea.
Larry
because
said,
of
let's
mine.
go. Larry said, let's go to Regis.
Because of mine. Well, Eddie had gone there for 2 years.
Oh, did Eddie go to Regis for 2 years?
He screwed up and Frank hauled him back.
I didn't know
And
that.
Frank called him back because he was like a 1.5. He screwed around. He didn't do shit. He went there for 2 years. So when I go, Eddie's already gone.
I didn't know Ed went to Regis.
That's the reason we went.
I didn't either.
Because of Mike. Eddie had gone there for 2
So,
years.
so you, Larry, who else?
John DiLorenzo, who died. John
Joe.
Markle.
Dilo, Marco, unbelievable. I know all these guys.
Mike Horner.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
He's from Chicago. Did DiLorenzo, did he finish at Regis?
For 5 years.
What about Marco? Did he finish?
In fact, no, he fucked out or something he left. Who else from Omaha? Terry Hogan. He was my roommate. Iverson. Chip didn't go.
Where'd Chip go?
Chip was great. I don't know why he didn't go. I don't know why he didn't go to Regis with us, but he did. And who else from Omaha?
Where did that Daly's? Was it Greens? Where did the Daly?
Jack
at?
Daly.
Where did
Jack
he go?
Daly go?
You know, I got to tell you, that's a really good question, Mike. Jack Daly was a friend of Eddie's, and there's only 800 boys, and so because of Eddie, Jack took us under his wing. You know.
He what?
He took us, me under his wing,
Oh, okay.
and
That's because you're a Christ King and you're a rich kid.
yeah, I know Jack all my life.
Well, you're a rich kid.
Yeah, rich kid. And so, and Jack had some chicks. Jack was a terrible student. It's the worst.
But he always had great cars
Great chicks.
and chicks.
And
Yeah.
chicks.
So you want to hang around.
Yeah. I love
Absolutely.
Jack. Jack was a kind man to me. And kind to Larry and I. So we just hung around Jack.
I have a memory. And you
He
won't
died of
remember-
cocaine.
And
He
you
had
won't, well, you won't remember this because you were too fucked up. We were at Irison's kitchen, that little round table.
Right.
That my parents ended up getting, and now Mary Herter has it. So
On
it's-
William Street?
Yeah, so I was up there.
I know
with
that
Bob,
table.
And we were there. I don't, Mike, you were probably with us. I don't know.
I
Mike
think I'm
Zucca
picturing,
might have been with us.
picturing that
So we're in
table
the
now.
we're in the kitchen, and Ed comes in with Jack Daly. I'm almost sure you were there.
I'm sure it was.
And Daly's got a mustache, and he's got all this fucking cocaine on him. And he's just super fucked up. And he's got all that
He's all screwed.
drinking. It was just.
I love
it was-
Jack.
And we were all just, we were like high school. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, who's this guy?
Jack was
Jack
good looking,
Daly.
had a good personality.
Yeah, oh yeah. And he always had good cars and had tons of chicks.
I heard his dad was kind of a prick.
I don't know that.
I don't either.
You know, something that's interesting about Jack. Jack got a, I don't know how he ever graduated from Regis. Maybe he did. He had really shitty grades. Never went to class, not one time.
He went to Regis,
Yeah, he went there for all 4 years.
and he got a degree.
They must have just handed it to him because there's
Well, his mom.
his own.
Rosemary
Then
wrote
the
it.
guy shows up. If you can believe this, he went to architecture school for a week. He got into architecture school. He can't spell math.
No.
And he went to
Wow.
law school for like 1 day. So with Eddie went there 1 day.
Yeah, Eddie quit after a very short period of time. But you know what? This is a great thing about Ed Iverson. She come full circle. Jack Daly had a horrific cancer, and they radiated the shit out of him and did a surgery. They just ruined him.
Right.
He was paralyzed from the waist
He
down.
was.
And he was down in the St. Joe
Do you
Villa.
think cocaine has something to do with that?
And alcohol.
Yeah.
Well,
And so
no,
he was down at the old St. Joe Villa, and Rosemary Daly, Jack had a private room,
How'd you know all this?
because I went down there with Eddie. And so Jack, the only guy that Jack Daly would even see is Ed. And I went in there with him a couple times. And then I just said, you know, God, Ed, I can't be going. It's not right for me to be in there anyway. But I would go down there with Ed once in a while, and he'd go see Jack. And so I got to know Rosemary a little bit. And then I was on the board of the hospital at Creighton for 4 years. I was the president of medical staff for 2 years. Every board meeting, Rosemary Daly sat right next to me. Every single time she put her hand, every time she
Whoa.
touched me on the hand, she says, "Hi, Doctor."
Did you know that Rosemary would not let me go see Jack?
She wouldn't let you. She completely controlled that little.
Yeah, she never let me see Jack. I asked Eddie, can you let me see Jack? I grew up with the guy. He's 3 years older than me, grade school. She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me.
But she liked Eddie for whatever reason.
Well, they were best friends, he and Jack. They were best friends. Two cool guys and all kinds of good looking chicks. So
I know, but he ended up the last 5 years of his life. He stayed alive. It was horrible.
He stayed alive.
And
Well,
he, just
yeah.
stayed, and he just stayed in this one room, the St.
That's
Joe
right.
Villa. He never left, never nothing. And his mom went there every fucking day. It was just so weird. And then the only guy that would come was Ed.
You know, one time Eddie told me he walked into his room his house. And how did he say that? He was in bed with the chick. And he had a whole great big bowl right next to him of cocaine. Great big bowl. It was just weird, Rick. And the guy was living on cocaine.
Well, it's amazing he lived as long as he
Me
did.
too.
What kind of cancer did he have?
A GI colon, I think.
Okay.
And in, Doug, you have to remember, there were no biologics. There were no magic bullets.
No.
They went in there and they just
Carved
carved him
out.
up, and then they
Oh.
radiated the shit out of him.
Oh,
And
good
basically, the treatment killed him. And Jack Daly would have been better if they would have just let him go.
He was
Right.
handsome.
No.
And he had really good, he was a great guy to me. Great guy to me. He lived on 92nd and Dodge, you remember that?
Totally. Well, no,
Up on the hill?
196 in Dodge, yeah.
96 and Dodge.
And they
Up on the
sold
hill?
that.
Right
Did
next
you,
to Kaiser's house.
Up on the hill.
Kaiser's,
do you know the house is gone now, and Warren
Yeah.
Buffett paid $6 million for that piece of ground.
What he?
Yeah,
What?
Warren Buffett, they tore
See,
down
Mike
the
always
house.
knows where the land is.
Well, Clayton Byam told me this one. He said Clayton said Warren bought that like before anybody knew it was kind of for sale.
Right next to Kaiser's. Next to
Yeah.
CSL.
So anyway, $6 million, and didn't do any like. Usually you do an abstract or a title insurance, and he knew that it was good. So.
He didn't do
I
time.
bet they'll be on corporate headquarters.
Mike, what's it being done for?
Didn't do
What's it
time
doing
insurance.
for that?
What's that?
He knew
What are
it was
they, what are
good.
they doing for that?
It's just a piece
He
of
didn't do
dirt.
any title
What are they
insurance.
gonna do?
I could suppose I could put a high rise anything
So, Dog, this is what we're talking about, because you've never been there, because you can't get in there.
Right.
They had a gate.
on the west
It's
side
on a
of
hill,
96,
just
right
above
by
the
West
West
Roads,
Roads.
Is your
behind the
bottom
clock
mini
tower.
time?
All right, so Dog, 96 in Dodge.
He's
Go,
driven by me.
go north across. You can't. There's a median. Go north to 96 on the other side of Dodge,
Is that?
and then go west. There's a hill, and there's trees and shit. They had a house up there.
It's probably, I don't know.
You never saw it, I never saw it.
10 acres or something.
He went there.
Right. Okay.
This guy went there because
Not
he's
too
a rich
many
kid.
times though, I'll be honest with you.
Lippo used to drop plans off there,
Yep.
didn't he, or something?
That's where Rosemary lived.
You would try
and
and-
Rosemary,
You worked for Dillard Davis for a
Rosemary,
while.
when she was on the board at Creighton, she would do the candy striper shit, because I was a doctor at Creighton. I saw her all the time. She's walking in the halls. I knew her really well.
Right.
She had a candy striper. She's a volunteer. And she'd drive this big old Cadillac. She parked it in the garage underneath. And I'd go in there and I don't know, Rosemary's here. Cars are con. She was at St. Louis constantly. She was in the hospital all the time.
My mom would work there in that candy striper store or whatever you call that thing, and
Yeah.
she'd be like 10 minutes late, and Rosemary would kind of get pissed at her. But
The service league.
yeah, but
Service
you know,
league.
Rosemary, you didn't want to. If Rosemary kind of said something, you better just fucking
I
do
was
it.
just glad.
She had an older, Jack had an older brother called Leo.
Well, he took over the company, didn't he?
Yeah, real successful architect from San Francisco.
How you feeling, Billy?
He was,
Not too bad, Mike. You guys
Good.
cheered me up
he'd
quite
be
a
about
bit.
82, 83.
Did you know him?
No, I knew his ex-wife, right? No.
But he was pretty successful. He took
Oh,
that
yeah,
company.
yeah.
And then he took the company kind of maybe up a little.
Yeah, he was not a drug addict.
He was good.
Yeah.
But how- was he? How many years behind us? Or behind John Daly was he?
Oh, he was 6, 7, he's 5 or 6 years older.
He was about Eddie's age, huh? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, he's old. He's,
Eddie, right?
yeah, he's
So
old.
the oldest boy did the company,
Yeah.
and Leo Daly, probably the old man, just out of, Jack always worked for him. He never did anything. They just gave him
No.
money and he bought cocaine.
But he kind of did drive around a little
He had
bit.
a cool car.
Well, he wasn't qualified to do anything, Chris.
No, he.
Well, you
He
can
wouldn't
deliver the
qualify.
plans.
What was the
from
bar?
A to B.
What was his favorite bar? You go
He
to
went to
Holiday?
Down Under a lot.
To Down Under? Where's that?
It's
Well,
right by Nebraska
friend of mine used to
Hospital,
own it.
right on Leavenworth.
Bubba owned it.
And you still go there sometime, Rick? Don't you? I don't know why. One time you said I'm going down under.
I always go to Down Under. Well, I don't have
It-
it anymore, but Bubba owned
Chris,
it.
you know where you give blood across from
Bob
Nebraska
Fields over
Hospital?
there, Fields. Yeah.
It's
my
on the
patient.
other side.
Have you seen him lately?
Yeah.
He looks like $1 million.
Oh, he looks better than
God,
me.
I haven't seen.
Huh?
He looks better than me.
No, Bubber's as skinny as me.
Really?
He looks
He weighs
great.
185, he told me.
Did he ever do a little coke or?
No, she never did.
But he drank a little bit.
Drank every time. Not too much, so pretty mature.
Is he totally retired? I haven't seen Bubba in
Yeah,
forever.
he retired.
The only reason I see him is he comes to see me.
He's a great guy.
Oh, I love Bubber. The
Oh,
best.
he's a great guy.
He was one of Eddie's really good friends.
Oh, he's real good friend of Eddie's.
And Bubber's happy, you know.
I met him the first day he came to Creighton Prep.
He
Where'd
was-
you go to grade school?
He went to, he grew
They
up.
moved from out of town, didn't they? Or
He came from St. Louis, Missouri, and
That's where they went back to.
that's right. You had one in your class, Billy.
I started hanging around him when he came in there junior year or sophomore year, And then we were born in the same hospital in St. Louis, Missouri, 6 days apart.
Wow.
St. Mary's Hospital. And then junior year homeroom, he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, Crowdy, just won this race at Exorbic. Let's go to Exorbic." I was 16, and then the die was cast. He and I went every day. I was 16. We used to we owned seats together. We were just there all the time.
That's that track.
Yeah,
What you
every
got going,
day.
Billy? You need some help?
Every day.
Maybe pull it up some.
Now twist it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Kurt, where'd that deal go?
Let's see if we can.
Hey, Bill, how about turn on something about Caitlin, okay? She's gonna run
I
for
don't know if he has that much control over this
Bill,
thing.
she's gonna run for president.
Who is?
Caitlin Clark.
This girl
I'm
basketball
gonna
player.
vote for him, man.
This girl basketball player for ISU. She's like the new Pete
Not
Maravich.
ISU.
U of I.
Dumb shit.
Did you notice Rick has on his Iowa Hawkeye
I did
coat
see,
over
I
there?
did see that.
And his
Iowa
wife
Hawkeye.
was totally excited about the game last
Yeah, I
night.
went to ISU the other day, Mike,
Oh, did you?
to see Bob Weir in concert. Saw him Thursday night
Oh,
with my
you're
son.
funny.
Got drunker and shit. And come back on Saturday to see him with Core's sister.
Elkhorn South, the Storm.
That's right.
But they wear blue and gold like Notre Dame.
Where was he at
And they
in
do the
Omaha?
Shamrock thing. I don't know why.
Where was he at in Omaha? Or did you see him at?
Well,
in
with
Omaha?
decorations out the orphan was packed.
Oh, really?
Bob-
Did you see it? Did you see it
Bob
with
Weir?
the Wolf Brothers?
Who I don't like particularly, but it's all right.
Right?
I don't like him that much. I don't like brass, but
You don't like the Wolf Brothers?
I don't like brass. No.
But did you like the show?
Guys, my son and I were 50-50 on it.
Bill, what was the funnest concert you ever went to when you were a kid? Did you go to the Kansas? Yeah, you were on the Kansas City bus where you said I might take a bike, I might take a train.
train. I'm
I don't
going
know.
to Kansas City.
You kind of stole the show on the bus.
Oh God.
My favorite concert was with in 1976. I fly into Denver. Iverson says, "Come on and meet me." He was teaching at Longmont, and so then I think I had his Jeep. I can't remember. And so he pops in. He goes. I pop in and, with my clothes. You know, he's waiting outside the airport. And he goes like this. What? He says, "We're going to Red Rocks to listen to the Dead, right there."
Nice.
Well, it was with Chip Robinson, Larry, and Jim Donaldson. Jim Donovan. God, we just got blasted.
Where's Donaldson home? Where's he from?
Casey.
And where does he live? He went to read with you guys. Where does he live now?
Yeah, this is Denver.
Does he?
Not
Did that group do it? Did you ever guys do hard drugs like a little
Larry
mushroom-
did.
mushrooms?
Larry did. So Donaldson, but mostly Larry. Larry got busted, you know.
Just
He got busted, you know that? After senior year, luckily I had to go in the Army for 6 months. And so Larry and a bunch of my friends lived together on Quebec Street. Actually, they lived their senior year too. And
Quebec Street in Denver?
yeah, they got busted for pot. I think Larry got busted again in a steamboat a year or two later with Chip.
He got busted again?
I think so. But misdemeanor shit.
Still got in med school.
He still got med school 20 years later.
Lucky.
But
Especially in that.
yeah, he
time.
got busted. I knew they would. I'm not gonna hang around Larry. Who's gonna get busted?
But back at that time, I remember in Steamboat, Colorado, where they were paying all these construction workers that would they were building these condos all over, and I was told they paid a lot of their construction people with cocaine.
They may have.
You know what I mean? It was
I
just.
think Chip worked construction. I don't know. I don't know what Larry did for a living there, but they were not making.
Yeah, but when you guys were in college, cocaine wasn't a big thing.
We never heard of cocaine.
No, cocaine came later.
It was all pot.
Okay.
I mean, think about it, Mike. We didn't, like, when we were...
It was all pot.
I think at the very end of college,
College.
it started showing up, but none of us had any money.
Right.
Cocaine
No.
was $100 a gram. None of us, it was like
Yeah, nobody
I got
had it.
$100 for a gram of cocaine. No.
We didn't hear about pot till junior year.
We heard in freshman in high school.
We started smoking in high school.
No, junior year.
All right, you know one of my favorite stories with me and Lippo and Frank. It was the summer after our senior year in high school, and we were fucking stoned every day.
Who? You and who?
So was he.
Boney?
Me and Lippo and Frank Suka.
Frank Suka.
And Ed would pay us to help him clean up the bars.
Knock, knock.
Hi there.
Hi. Would you like some fresh ice water?
Pardon me?
You want
Fresh-
some fresh ice water?
You can put it down.
Good
that'd
for
be
you.
good.
Thanks.
Here,
sweetie.
I'll take
Thank
this
you.
one.
Thank you much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
thanks.
welcome.
So I would go out with Lippo sometimes to Goldberg's on 132nd. We'd clean
Oh,
that
yeah?
up.
We do this.
Yeah, we'd do it in Corcoran's places. We'd clean them up on Sunday morning. Had to pay us cash. It was great. We'd get a Coke and listen to music. Anyway, so we got the key to Bert and Ernie's. Lippo had the key. And we could wee in there one, I don't know, it wasn't open for some reason. There must have been some day it wasn't open. We went in there and it was, I don't know, 8 o'clock or whatever.
At night or morning?
At night.
Morning.
Okay.
Or something. It was, I remember
Because the bars
closed,
don't
there
open
was nobody
till
there.
12.
So, we're in the bar. Whatever you need. We went in the kitchen, we made cheeseburgers. We got
You did?
stoned, we got stoned, we're drinking tap beer. It was the greatest day of my life. With Lippo and Frank.
Did you already drive in the
Oh,
Jeep?
Frank.
Oh my God, yeah, we'd probably drive in Ed's Jeep.
Lippo always
Who
loved to
even
drive
knows?
Eddie's Jeep.
Who even knows? I mean, we had so much fun.
Lippo's a great guy.
No.
Nobody better than him. He's a great guy. Both of them are always a great guy too.
I know. These are our people.
These are our people.
You know what Bodie said about my wife when I left Dr. Herder's? We had
Wait.
luncheon.
Oh yeah, yeah. After my dad's
I'm
funeral.
leaving, and I want to talk. There's so many people to talk to. I'm going with Lippo, but there's so many people to talk to. You know, where do you start?
Right.
So I saw Bodie. Bodie said something was really smart. I thought about this, but he said something really. I would have discussed this with him. He said, "You know something, Rick, about your wife?" And I go, "Yeah, she's." It's so true. He says,
Oh, that's a straw.
she's
I'll put it up
really
there. I
very
didn't know if that
intimidating.
was a cigarette or.
I said, Boney, that is exactly right. Well said, Boney.
Well, first of all, her accent is like a drug.
Right.
I would pay to just to sit in a room and just
I
read
agree.
just read the book. I'm just going to sit here.
She's a
and listen.
lawyer.
Well, no, but the way she talks. It's intoxicating. I
It
love
is.
to listen to Edith talk,
Okay, but I know what he meant is she's.
and she's smarter now.
She doesn't say much if you don't know her. I mean, you know, you tell me. Like with Boney,
But
I
you know
think
what?
she's really
She's
intriguing.
intimidating.
No,
She's
no, but
intriguing. Yeah.
she's real smart, but she doesn't lay it on you.
Well, she'll put you down.
No, she didn't lay it on you. No, never, ever. She's always sweet.
I agree. I think she's kind of.
And the dominant, that's exactly right, Boney. I said, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's the reason I didn't like her at first.
Okay.
Exactly.
She was too intimidating.
She intimidated me.
Yeah.
What the shit? Where'd she come from?
But when you first met her, she wasn't. She was over. She didn't drink at that point, correct?
No, she didn't drink, but the one from the South who's a lawyer, he's got a great body, good looking, they kind of intimidate you.
Well, and the accent.
The
Yeah,
accent.
the accent.
But I'm not used to that shit. I'm used to Catholic girls. I'm not used to that shit.
Yeah, I know. But obviously, the Richard Crowdy package was working for her too.
It was working for her, but not for me. But finally I came around, I realized it was ridiculous.
All right, beer in a can. And this is, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical. Beer in a can, lifetime for you. Which brand have you drink the most of in your lifetime? Beer in a can. What brand?
Budweiser.
The most volume.
Bud.
The most volume.
It's not even close.
I'm talking about your life.
It's the only
I
beer
would
I've
say
ever
Miller
had.
Lite. Miller Lite?
No, it's the only beer I've ever had. I've never had a Miller Lite or Bud. I hardly ever had it unless I'm drunk.
What?
There's no question, Coors Light.
Oh, it is. It's Coors.
All my life, because when I was in high school or college, when we went out to
Oh,
Denver,
I
we
guess
had
wrong. I
Coors.
would have said Miller Lite.
But
We
back
had
then it was
Coors.
Coors. It wasn't Coors Light even then.
No, we had Coors. You see, when Iverson and I went out to Regis, when he was 17, I was just barely 18.
You bring the beers home.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had what did you call that, Mike?
Coors Banquet. I don't
No,
know.
we didn't have that. We had Coors, which was
Coors Light.
what's that? What's that called when you don't quite have the alcohol limit?
Yeah.
Oh, 3-2.
Oh, the
3-2 beer.
That's
So
right.
we
You
had
get 18.
we had to drink a lot of 3-2 beer to get even high.
And so when you were 18, you could get 3-2.
Yeah, and most of the time the girls we went out with,
You could do that in Kansas too. You could drink 3-2.
most of the girls we went out with, Mike, would throw up before they got high, or they got high and threw up. And we could go to nightclubs and get 3-2 beer
When you were 18.
when we were 18.
You need help, Bill? You want a straw?
Yeah, give me a straw.
You had to drink so much, Mike.
Thanks, brother.
Now it's about 4. Now if you got a Coors Light, it'd be about 4.2, 4.5.
You know what we had? Which Larry forgets this. I can't believe he forgot this. And Donaldson forgot this, and Donovan forgot this. But believe it or not, in freshman year, I can't believe Iverson forgot this. We used to get into a bus, all guys, you know. But all the girls would come from the girls' school.
Was it Loretta Heights?
Loretta Heights. And so they would
I can't
meet
believe
us.
I know that.
They would meet us at Tunnel 1 or Tunnel 6 at
Loretta
noon,
Heights.
okay? At noon. So here's 100 girls on the bus or 80 girls, 80 guys, okay? So we would meet. We would have a band and we would have unlimited 3-2 beer. So they would pick us up to 1 or 2 at night. And if you don't think those girls were bombed, we danced. If you can't pick up a girl, you are fucked up.
It was the hippie days where everybody was kind of happy and lucky.
So wait a minute. So the buses would take you to a club.
No, they would take us to the mountains.
Oh, to the mountains.
We'd you
Who would
stay
organize
outside?
that? Who would organize that?
The schools must have organized it, and then they'd leave.
And
So-
then you guys brought all your beer with you up in the
No, no,
mountains.
no. They'd have beers for us. They'd have a whole.
Creighton did that freshman year. They'd drag you over to Council Bluffs and get in a bus.
Did they?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Wow.
First week.
No, we'd have a
I
tap.
remember the $2 all
We
you
had a
could
log
drink
cabin and a
Friday.
tap.
Oh my God.
Eddie.
So you got 80 girls and be a band playing. I mean, if you can't meet a girl,
Exactly.
I know, but
you were screwed up, man.
I know, but you at that moment you thought, I'm not at Creighton Prep anymore.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I said to myself, if I had some
I'm
moves,
Regis.
if I had some moves, I could pick up a girl.
I know, but
I
think
still
about-
couldn't pick up a girl.
Think
Well,
about
Larry
that.
could pick because he was nice.
Think about that quantum leap from
No shit.
prep to like what he was doing.
Yeah.
To Regis.
College.
Can you believe it's the same planet?
It's the same planet.
Totally different.
And Dr.
planet.
Miss, I thought
And
you
this
guys
college
were
thing is
studying.
going to work for me.
Yeah, I think college is going to work
College
for
is going
me,
to work
Dad.
out for me. I'm
And
available.
some of these girls were pretty, and of course, they didn't have boyfriends because they had no
Freshman
time in their
year.
senior year. It was freshman year,
With a
so
bunch of rich white girls.
and they were rich white girls. And what the shit?
Yeah.
Regis College.
What the hell? This is the greatest.
Oh, this is LSU.
I
girl.
still couldn't get any chicks.
I got
didn't
it,
have-
you know.
I didn't know how to talk to girls. So,
You didn't have, well, Larry Iverson had no problem.
no, he could talk to girls. I didn't have.
Well, that's
He'd
because
laugh. He
that's
probably
because
had
Ed
that-
was his
I
older
had taught
brother.
him. I didn't have the moves.
Plus, he had that good old laugh, Larry. And
Plus, he's so nice.
But here's the funny thing. So, Frank Iverson was, you know, at his core, was a fairly stern guy.
He
Right.
was.
I mean, well,
I never saw it.
No. When those guys were young, Kiefer, Ed, and Larry, when they were going to grade school and high school, Ed was in trouble all the time.
Oh, I can see Eddie in trouble.
And so was Larry. Kiefer not as much, but those
Oh,
guys were,
Jim was like number 3 in his class.
they were in trouble all the time.
He was like Lippo.
And Ed told me that Frank he was giving him shit constantly.
What?
Hard on him, yes. Like you fucking nut.
Frank?
Frank was like giving him shit for like partying too much and drinking, and he tried to